How's it going, guys? SSF Day 3, Consecrated Path Totems Chieftain, using a two-hander. Um, Added this little two-legged goat I got from the Twitch Rivals event. It was cool. And I've made a lot of changes to this build. So, I'm still using the Consecrated Path Totems. I got myself a 5-link sun plate that dropped. I crafted that up. And I put in fire penetration. So it's Conk Path, Earthbreaker, multiple totems, melee physical damage, and fire penetration. Now, once I get a 6-link, melee phys is going to come out. I'm going to put added fire damage in, and then elemental damage with attacks. But in its current state, I'm getting more out of scaling the melee physical damage, I believe. I could be wrong. I haven't POB'd it, really. I have a Colossus Mallet. It's fast. It doesn't have an attack speed roll on it, but things are much faster having a Colossus Mallet over the Maul I had previously. And let's see. I now have Endurance Charge and Melee Stun on my Leap Slam. So I was getting Endurance Charges that way, but I also ended up getting my Merc Lab, and I swapped this stuff up here. I got Valico Storm's Embrace, so now I could gain endurance charges when I use a Warcry, so the endurance charge or melee stun really isn't necessary anymore, it's just still there. But now I can Warcry, start getting endurance charges, and I switched my main attack from Consecrated Path to Tectonic Slam, so that every 3 attacks I will expend an endurance charge and get a 15% more damage off of that. So, other thing I did, I removed Resolute Technique. I removed all of the two-hand nodes down here. I came up here. I got the Galvanic Hammer. This is giving me another 5% Ellie pin. And all these nodes have accuracy on them. Because dropping Resolute Technique, I then have an accuracy issue. I'm getting the easy accuracy here on Versatility, and then I re-pushed back down to this path that I originally cut off, so that I could get Eagle Eye, getting some crit chance and accuracy here, and then I grabbed Admonisher because there was more Warcry cooldown recovery rate over here than what I was getting down here. So, big reason that is so that I can push down and get Elemental Overload. So, skills that have dealt a critical strike in the past 8 seconds deal 40% more elemental damage. So losing a little bit of accuracy, I can now, if I crit with either the totems or the Tectonic Slam, the totems or the Tectonic Slam will get 40% more elemental damage. But with the new Elemental Overload, there's also no indicator that you have gotten Elemental Overload. So you just kind of guessing whether or not it's actually working. I believe it is, because there's times where I'm just like packing powerful punches, and it's a little bit more consistent than just like the 5% chance to deal double damage I was getting here with a 3% chance for triple. I felt like losing that to finish out working in this stuff was good. So now let's show off how it's doing. I've already pre-rolled this Drox map because I'm looking for Warlord gear. Whether or not I'm going to get it here, I don't know. And I'm going to completely juice this as much as possible. I'm going to put a June on this T2 map. Let's do Quant and throw this in. I'm going to do the Scourge as much as possible. The highest amount of Corruption Essence that I have stacked now is 200. And that was in a blue museum map with Warlord influence. So there's extra mobs that were spawning due to the influence. So that I was able to juice it a lot, and the map is massive. But the map being huge meant that I could much easier, have a much better chance at getting in and out of Nightmare a lot more often. I also switched out of Steel Skin in favor of Molten Shells, so now I'm prone to bleed damage just a tiny bit, which is okay. This is only a tier 2 map, so nothing super crazy, but it's finally moving and doing things, and I like it. And my defenses are geared so much that just straight up, I just stand here, doesn't even matter. fine.
Enough blood.
This. I've noticed that June, while also giving you an entire extra area with the research part of it, you can get a lot of extra juice here as well from them. So, like, I'm trying to figure out how to, like, best use the mechanic. So just, like, slowly, like, trying to, like, follow along my path. It's making my maps take twice as long because I gotta clear them twice. But that's also okay. Got another one of these. Drop this. Can even Vol Molten Shell. Did he bail? No. Oh, he moved. The totems will just straight clear stuff on their own, too. They'll go off and do their own thing. I can pop into Nightmare here and just let the totems do their own thing, while I take a different route and, like, focus on fighting different stuff. And then I can literally go, like, loot the stuff that they did afterwards. But it does get a lot better the more stacks you get, because at the end of the map, you're getting 100 plus stacks on that, which is 200% quantum rarity, just with 100. So getting a 200 is so much extra quantum rarity. Like, if you're able to survive it and use it correctly, you can actually get a lot of stuff out of them at the end. Got the Scarab. Rusted Shaper Scarab. Fantastic. I'm going to need that at some point, because the only way to get an additional totem on this build is to have a Shaper Shield with an additional totem. So, I'd like to get to the point where I have a 4th totem, which is also going to mean I'm going to have to swap to one hand, which kind of blows. I actually thought there was a Delve mod that could give you an extra totem. Like, there's a chest mod that can give you an extra Spectre, which is, I think, a little bit more powerful than having an extra totem. So, that seems odd that that avenue is not available somewhere. I thought it was at some point and got removed. I guess it's only on shields now. Speaking of Delve, the thing that I'm most interested in getting right now is a flammability on hit ring. Because it's just a little bit too much. I get a flammability on hit ring, then I could also drop this Malachi's Artifice and run a Wave of Conviction. Right now I just don't have the buttons to do that. I even have an aura that I have to swap if I die. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna pop this. Take out the whatever monsters are in here. Off. Then I should, from killing these guys, get more juice. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to do something with this stuff. Chaos Dot Multi. Let's have Speed Arcane Surge. Let's convert Lightning. Ooh, Endurance Charge. It rolled well. It has Fizz, some mana regen. This is a suffix. Lightning, Res. I could craft life on this. This could potentially be used. Alright. Grab these. Should be the end of these. Okay. Grab the scepters. That stuff. Alright, let's finish this. This again. Now it's gonna start like doing a lot more damage. Like I'm so tanky on this character that normal content from the game that was existing previously I can just sit and let it attack me in almost all cases. But dealing with the Scourge at the end of it, it's pretty yikes. All right, let's get more. So I've been almost clearing this as well as I've been clearing the map, clearing both versions of it, and managing to stay alive still to this point. Only up to 108, so it's not super crazy yet. Well, the totems are a lot faster now, and I can't wait till I can get... We gotta go dump stuff. I'm still in the phase where I'm picking up lots of rares so that I can farm myself an alteration pool. Because I've currently been pretty much using them about as quickly as I can get them. Let's see, we need to upgrade this. So I was going to run this for this video, but it is currently... Okay, it just got its first thing that is actually detrimental to me in any way. It's been stacking less chance to suppress spell damage. It's been stacking lose energy shield per second. Now it just got monsters deal 20% more damage. I did put this on a T1 map so that I could possibly like juice it as much as possible. It's got enchanted items, 2 additional stacks of simulacrum splinters, stacks of legion splinters. I've just been kind of stacking it as much as I could. And then I just threw in Duresso Salute and Winter Heart. So now let's finish this. Like these maps are a chore. They take a lot of work if you're really trying to get the most out of the Scourge, which I've been trying to, because I've been trying to like I've found things that it's worth like, okay, I'm gonna bake this in there and see like if I can get something on this unique that's kind of build enabling that kind of sets it apart to make something really cool. Other than that, I really don't know what worth it is to really like use it. So I'm just kind of gambling on stuff that's not beneficial to me right now, but might be useful on another build. But also on that note, I don't even know why the Krangled stuff even drops on the ground, because they're all terrible. Like, there's nothing we can do with those prefixes. Like, it would be interesting if there was some kind of synthesizer, like in Synthesis League, that we could like convert them into something. And who knows, maybe there's some kind of vendor recipe that we don't know about yet, or I just haven't been paying attention to other content creators that have spent more time messing with Scourge, because I did that whole 100 push. I'm kind of behind on those things. But I'm making the build work pretty well. Okay, I took a little bit of a hit there. Oh. But the excellent endurance charge generation with the Warcry. The Warcry uptimes being a lot better. Another one of these. Yeah, for as much stuff as I put in here, I felt like this one's kind of lackluster on the amount of stuff, but still like up to 173. That's not bad. All right, so now we can transform this. Cast speed on Duresso Salute. Rip. Fire and Lightning Grid. So yeah, we'll churn those again. Scourge passive. I've just been throwing these in whatever, because they all seem kind of like meh. At the present time, like I wish there were passives on that, so that you could like invest in the blood vial, I guess. Give yourself more tiers of it. Make it last longer and things. Kind of like how you can boost your delve, like light radius and stuff. Boost the like degen rate while you're inside of nightmare and things. Everything here all has to do with the baking process in the Crucible. It'd be cool if there was more we could do to like scale the event itself, rather than having to go in and out, in and out, in and out, in order to be super efficient with it. Because if I could just like spin my entire map, stacking up as much stuff as possible, and then go in there and then do the whole map backwards, that's kind of, I feel like, what I want with it. And just like drain like massive amounts of stuff that I gained the whole way. Just it would take some of the monotony out of it. Alrighty. Dump this. And let's go kill us a Drox. I'm tempted to just kind of sit and face tank. I mean, it is only a T2 Drox. Nothing super crazy getting into yet. I still don't have the most amazing damage. But I also haven't upgraded my weapons since, like, the very beginning of yesterday. Oh, I need to get the... I forgot to drop the Storm Brand. I gotta remember to keep hitting the War Cry too. So this is really why I want the flammability on hit, because like it's just gonna take away some of the stuff. Having the life and potential accuracy and maybe even crit chance on the Malachite's Artifice and factoring in my lightning res elsewhere, I think would be really nice. So my damage just started popping off there for a second, so my, like, 7% crit chance or whatever it is. Oh. That's 71. It is a Colossus Mallet. That is the base that I'm looking for, because it does have the best attack speed on a Maul. And yeah, that's the map. Like, a 15-minute map, it's ridiculous, but juicing a lot of stuff out of it. So I was going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to spec this into Harvest. Try to find Harvests. Up here, I'm going into Delve. I want the Soul Fight. Down here, I'm going to go into Heist. And down here, I'm first pushing into Abyss. I want this to be my XP farm zone. I'm going to push into Abyss and Breach. And yeah, this is going to be where I'm going to farm XP. Because this armor is nuts, with the determination, like, just sitting in my hideout here, like, I've got stupid resistances, like, unbuffed, 63% physical damage reduction from armor, like, before the granite, and the basalt, and the molten shell, 75% physical damage reduction, still hurting on chaos resistance, but that's okay. Alright, last little bit for today, show and tell stuff. Alright, I found a really high evasion rating shield that has life. I don't have the best evasion rating craft yet, but that's there. I crangled the Joffrey's Baptism, which turned out fairly decent. Though whether I'm going to be leveling another character that uses a two-handed mace, I don't know. But some extra cold damage on there is pretty interesting. So I tried to get this... The tier 2 version of it was okay, it was usable, but now it's adding cold damage and you don't deal cold damage, so that one bricked. And then I put the Stark Hanja through. It now has a much higher dexterity requirement, but you probably would have a lot of dex if you're using it anyways, plus it has dex on it, and +1 socketed intelligence gems, which is also kind of cool. So, I also found a Crown of Eyes, which Crown of Eyes is typically used on these Consecrated Path Totem builds, but that only really works if you're like using the Brutus Lad Sprinkler strength stacking, and then you're converting that physical damage per strength into spell damage per strength, and then converting it into attack damage per strength to make the strength benefit elemental damage. That gets used for that, but I probably won't be going that route. I really like the idea of using a physical base and doing the physics extra route with it. And then I got the Crab Claw mace, which this could be a solid like one-hand weapon to go into it. It's fairly decently rolled. It's missing some quality, but if I throw on a shield, this could be a solid weapon to swap out of this. But I'm also really kind of liking the idea of using the double two-hands so that I have an ability that I can use myself with the Tectonic Slam as well as the Conch Path Totems there. And Was there anything else in here? No, that was all that. Now we get to use 23 fusings and see if I get a 5-link that I can craft off of for my main hand weapon. Because I need something to use Fizz rerolls on from Harvest. Nope. Still no 5-link. So, like, I'll get a 5-link there eventually. And yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. Hope you enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll keep pushing this. Hope to try and get it into red maps tomorrow, but we'll see. It's still kind of lacking the single target damage, but it's also stupid tanky, so I'm really enjoying it. Cheers.